To kick off for Seattle.
Set now to wrap up a busy week of football. Happy to have you with us. And, folks, we are underway on Monday Night Primetime. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First down 10 at their own 29-yard line.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Two yards to go, second down. They'll go again to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Third play here of this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly will there.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 3.
Shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Matt LaFleur, some confidence in his offense. His guys going here on 4th down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. Just their first in this half. We'll step aside and come right back. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
58.
They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Looking to put a drive together.
Let's go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Go! 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And then nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy check downs. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
And that is incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and he just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup for 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 on the Seahawks 30-yard line.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Well, when you're a road team in the playoffs, when you're a wild card, what's the one thing you need to be able to do to stay in football games? Run the football. And that's an excellent job right there of identifying where to go and picking up good yardage.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Second down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5. An inside give to Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That 2nd down play nets a -4. We're scoreless after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
319. Hey, 626.
Up the middle, Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Aaron Jones taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Vikings will strike first here, this wild card matchup.
And here on 3rd down, your number 1 goal, Don't be a hero. Just get the first down. But here, once he gets past the line of scrimmage, the field opens up for him, and he's able to take it right up the gut and into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0.
Wildcard to kick off for the Vikings.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A nice throw by the rookie from Alabama. That's a first down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here. And they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
Okay, ready?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Get it. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready.
They run over center with Mitchell. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down and 1.
Cavity Lions.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a completion to Wilson. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
And the Seahawks, first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready. Cowboy 80.
They'll set up to throw. Down a man, it's complete to Jelani Woods. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It gets this complete to Shaheed. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Viking 18.
First down, here's Mitchell. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Come on, set.
Looking to throw. And he's got it. Out of the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Calvin Austin from 17 yards out. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after getting up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he stopped immediately there. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing is Rodgers. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Here we go. 19, Tiger, 19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go, set. Cowboy 80. Ready.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Here now, 3rd and a yard.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready.
They'll look to throw here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Let's go now. Cougar 19.
He'll drop to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. That is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4... coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
Thought he was gonna get away.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Myers' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half.
Vikings 7. Wildcard to kick off for the Vikings.
One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC Wildcard bout. Oh, some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the running a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's 3rd and 7.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Another run with Mitchell. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
70 Timberwolves. 70 Lions.
A give here to Mitchell. They've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
And in a situation like this, you're in the second half with the lead, trying to get to the division round. They're going to let him do his thing on the ground, and that's a great run there to pick up a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
On the toss, Savannah Campbell. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That'll be taken in by Shaheed. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
18, pioneer. Here we go. Ready?
They'll look to throw now on first down. Touchdown! From 10 yards out. Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 17, Vikings 7. Michael Dixon.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
36-yard line.
Rodgers going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Again, it's Jones. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're...
And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 75 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
70 Lions, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready.
He'll look to throw. This one finds Wilson downfield. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Boy, 30 more yards and another first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
70. Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And the Seahawks are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Mitchell is in. Touchdown, Seattle. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Seahawks 24, Vikings 10. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The give is to Jones. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit him over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Now Rodgers got to have this one. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now it's Rodgers. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Give to Jones. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
First down. A gain of 12. And the Vikings first down.
Rodgers now to throw. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1. At the 36-yard line.
Here's Jones. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 3.
Hey, pick 26.
Now Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Hadn't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now Rodgers. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
17.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this a very important drive leading in the fourth quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here first down. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Here now a third down and 8.
Let's go.
They'll drop the throw. A short throw pulled in by Woods. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
36-yard line.
Back to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Second and 10.
Come on. Ready.
Scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They're going to look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. So after the big play on fourth, here's first and 10.
70 Timberwolves.
That one looks like he'll throw here. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here we go. Stack. Go.
On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
60 Eagles, 60.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and that should just about do it. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now on first down, he'll drop the throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A give running right is Mitchell. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line.
Harrison Smith on the tackle. Brings up 3rd down.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.